Go live. Okay, that's the problem. That's the problem. There we go. Now we should be talking. Now we should be live on that
talking
link.
About. Okay, so now I can share this myself because I feel like I need to.
Let's make sure that it's working.
Working.
Now work it out. Now work it out. Okay, that's the problem.
You're like, God damn it, intelligence.
He said LOL. God damn it. Now we should be talking. He did force us to do it just to prove a point. That son of a bitch.
Cannot say I'm surprised. Okay, so now.
All right, hang on. We got a little double. I'm sure it was doubled there for a second, guys. Sorry.
Double down.
All right. So let's post these then. Boom. And boom. And let me post it on my personals.
Mm-hmm.
My personals.
I got my personals and I got everything else. And we're still here.
Boom.
Dead air. Trying not to take up too much.
Not dead air. We are the fresh princes of dead air. All right. So there she blows.
There she blows.
What up, Crystal?
Whoa.
Crystal, it's good to see you again. Crystal, don't forget to go over to the Patreon and send me your address again, please, so I can send these boogie boxes out. I got to send all the boogie boxes out tomorrow, but for whatever reason, your comments or our messages have disappeared from my Patreon, and I no longer have your address, so I need your address to send you the boogie box this month, and everyone's boogie box is going to be sent. All right, guys. We are here to have some frickin' fun is what we're here to do.
Damn easy. That is the intention. And to have fun, but also to inform.
Indeed. Have fun and inform. That is the horror show way. Let's say hello to some people that are here. We have DMT Infinity. Yo, now walk it out. Now walk it out. Yep. Yes, Spoot. Now Robert should validate his standing on it. Yeah, I don't think that'll happen, but we'll see.
As he needs to.
And the disturbing thing is, as much as I didn't... Oh, beautiful. Thank you, Crystal. Obliged. Thank you. I'm so sorry to say it again when I didn't need to. I'm so sorry. Corey Novak, what up, brother?
Ben Grimm, what's up, dude?
Yes, Ben Grimm. Good to see ya. Yeah, Spootdev. So, what I was going to say is, even though I hated the first Killjoy movie, I'm still tempted to go through the other 5 movies. Because I'm so curious to see how it evolves. Hopefully evolves. Although I know it's a giant step back from part 1 to part 2. It goes from like $150,000 budget to $30,000 budget for part 2.
Maybe they were just trying to half-ass it and test the waters to see if they could still like make a profit. And
maybe we'll see. But I don't know. I don't know if I'll get around to it. Yes, we watched the Full Moon Killjoy as a Patreon request, Zachary. Oof, indeed.
Yeah.
So you guys can look forward to that. David Gomez, our resident exclamation point lover. What's up, brother? What's up? JT Grogan, some of the Killjoy sequels are actually good. That's what I'm saying. I have that feeling.
That's what I've heard, too.
The first movie was dog shit. I imagine the second movie is going to be dog shit, too. But I'm guessing 3 and on, it starts to be good.
I've heard that often with some of these franchises on the Full Moon Brigade...
Sadly, I need to watch 4 to 6.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's what I've heard.
We can tell you if it's worth it, I guess.
With like lots of these Full Moon franchises, the first 1 or 2 that lay the groundwork are pretty shitty, but then you have people who come on board that are fans of the mythology and they actually do something decent with it.
Yeah, that's the point. Like, it comes full circle, right?
True.
So it's movies that are made by poor filmmakers emulating better filmmakers that are then watched by kids who then grow up to be good filmmakers that make good versions of those movies.
Doesn't always happen, Star Wars, but
but yeah, no. So, and the other thing is, if we go through the series, then it's yet another series we can talk about on our franchise tier list.
Or you could, you could tier it.
Well, yeah, we do its own tier list.
Well,
we would need to do a Killer Clown tier list ranking, quite frankly, and that would probably do really, really well.
Okay, well, beyond all of that, we would need to do a Puppet Master tier list ranking.
Fuck you. No, we wouldn't. See, Killjoys get better as they go. God
Yeah,
damn
that's
it.
why. That's
what everyone's saying.
Dude, Ben is very like on the pulse of stuff. I mean, if you look at his Instagram, and shout out to Ben once again.
I believe it.
Yeah, man. I mean, he at least gives a paragraph or two about his thoughts on most of the new releases that come out. So.
Oh, I gotta restart this loop. Sorry, guys. Sorry, guys. I gotta restart this loop. And
are we there yet? Are we there yet? Are we there yet?
Oh no!
Are we there yet?
There we go. All right,
there yet?
it started. The loop started.
Cool.
Not a high bar. True enough.
That's fair criticism, I would imagine.
Zach Arayo is here. All right, Detroit, you wanted the best. It's a horror show, I'm hoping is what it says. Mike Swift is here as well.
You see, with that Kiss introduction, I always remember when Guns N' Roses parodied it, and they're like, you wanted the best, but you didn't fucking get it, so here's what you got. Coming straight from the Arizona Deadly Desert, the horror show! Anyway.
I'll take it. I'll take it.
Why not?
Spookdev, I just saw an earlier comment. Wonder if Cecil will be 2 sheets to the wind. How dare
what? Wow, just because of news with booze a couple days ago? Come on, guys.
Wait, was I really gone that time? Oasis, hey everyone, update. I still can't get over Pet Sematary. I'm so sad. Oh, I'm so sorry.
The
Oasis.
prequel?
I don't know.
If it's the prequel, whatever. It's not. I mean, hey, that politely cool with your aggravation if that's what it is, but I'm fine with them doing it again. I mean.
DMT,
hey, Pet Sematary 2 is pretty good.
DMT, regarding the Supernatural finale, we liked it. Obviously, if you watched,
I cried.
Yeah, we both cried. We did our reaction
like little girls with skin
to the
knees
Supernatural. That people still comment to this day, every single day.
I'm so glad we remain vigilant with getting that shit up.
Indeed, indeed. Thank you, JT. Super chat, $10. We greatly appreciate it.
Hell yeah, JT.
So, guys, we are about to get into about 10 different movies that we have seen and yet not talked about on this channel, just as a review wrap-up, because, quite frankly, we just can't keep up and do full reviews of every single movie that we're watching right now, especially as we're getting closer and closer to the channel relaunch, which to me is looking more and more like it's going to be May 1st.
Okay.
We'll probably get through April.
Do it on the 1st.
Yeah, we'll do it on the 1st. I didn't want to relaunch on April 1st because then everyone would be like, April Fool's Day, what are you doing?
No foolies, no foolies.
So we'll probably relaunch on May 1st, but we're preparing some really cool stuff for that relaunch and high-end episodes. So I'm excited to do that. But yeah, guys, let's talk about these movies, and starting with...
Just to chime in, this isn't everything that we watched horror-wise this past month because of the fact that, I mean, shit, dude, I watched all of those Sundance films. I also watched a lot of really bad horror movies, including one called The Pawn this past weekend, and I've been trying to Jason Smith that shizzle and watch every new thing that comes out, whether it's direct to video, VOD as they call it now, or whether it's on Netflix or whatever streaming service. And these were the ones that were worth talking about because there's a lot that's not.
DMT doesn't approve of our reaction to the Supernatural finale, apparently.
Oh,
I know you did.
Hey, art is subjective, as I constantly contend on this channel.
So First Fuego is one that you're going to be talking about solo. We're going to break that up. There's a few of those.
A lot of those like this.
So we're going to maybe half.
A few.
So all right, the first one is going to be Saint Maud.
Yeah.
So Fuego, please get into this. I was going to watch it, but it's
do a review just by itself of.
Yeah, we were thinking about that, but we're good.
There's too much.
We're
There's
good.
too much. Yeah.
We're past it came out 2 weeks ago at this point, so.
Yeah, and it's actually exclusively available on Epix Now for whatever reason. A24, I don't know what you were thinking, but this is most definitely one of the most A24est of the A24 films that I have ever watched. So you probably, although
dodge the bullet.
Although you have found merit in certain ones that I never thought that you would, which and I'm like, it's escaping me which in particular I was shocked that you liked.
Okay.
But, I mean, this is right there with, like, It Comes at Night and Ghost Story and stuff like that. That's really slow burning, even The Witch to a degree, but very satisfying payoff in this one for me without getting into specifics. This was a film that was supposed to actually come out, I think it was on the festival circuit almost 1.5 years ago. Okay. So it was long before the pandemic, and it was delayed, and then delayed again, and delayed again, and delayed again. Finally, brief theatrical in certain markets, and then it's on Epix Now. I watched it, and it is just a very sad plight of this woman who has found faith when it presumably was not necessarily there, like earlier in her life. She had a medical-related job that went very sour, as we see in the introductory. Like there's an intro scene that's very vague, and you see what appears to be a cadaver, or at least a dead body of some sort, and then it jumps maybe forward in time without spoiling stuff, and she gets this job taking care of this terminally ill woman, older woman who used to be like a dance choreographer and incredibly talented. She strikes up a friendship. She thinks she has this bond, and she thinks she can indoctrinate this woman and convert her to faith. That doesn't end up happening, and she basically, after a nasty fallout, she finds herself back in her old ways of, boozing and nastiness, but she has changed her name, as you find out from an old friend that she runs into when she's out on the town, and it's about as far as I can go, but it's just a very tragic and affecting tale, at least for me. I know since you haven't seen it, and since I'm not trying to super spoil it, it's very well shot, but once again, as you often find with A24, super slow burn, dude. Mm-hmm. But the burn part is where you have a direct tie-in, without being super spoilery, with the finale, and I don't know, CP and I talked about it on Show Business because he apparently watched it as well. He even offered to do a review with me of it, and I was like, well, holy crap.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Damn, thank you, Spook Dev. $100 super chat. Damn.
Damn, Reezy.
Bring joy. Thank you very much.
Yeah, that'll shut me up about Saint Maud, but I don't know, if you are into religious-related thrillers that border on horror, there is one jump scare in particular that I can't remember the last time I jumped like this. It's really it's a singular instance in this movie. And it may be a dream, it may have actually happened, but dude, I jumped like a frightened little child when this bit happened. It's one of the most effective that I've seen, and it's a very short movie. It's less than 90 minutes, including credits.
So I tried to see if it was at House of the Used when I rented a few movies.
Yeah, it doesn't have any home release. Yeah, it's only available digitally. Epix now, and I think because Epix is a cable channel, but just like AMC and various others, they have a corresponding streaming service. So Saint Maud, if any of what I said, and I mean, based on the trailer, religious affliction and having just to atone for lots of iniquities and nastiness that this woman, like she feels so much that she needs to atone, and I feel really bad for her in this movie, even if it's really not super, super horror-centric, so. That's all I got.
I might give it a try down the line. Ben Grimm says the last 20 minutes are great.
Aren't they, Ben? I mean, they're very satisfying, legitimately.
DMT says, Spook Dev, going hard into the paint. Yeah, man. Thank you, Media Kraken, sending a $100 super chat. That is just fucking awesome. Thank you so much, sir.
I don't even know what to say.
I feel like I need to toss an extra item or two into his box before it goes out tomorrow.
I think you should.
Now that I got Crystal's address in the bank, so I'll toss a little something extra in there for you. Yeah.
So Saint Maud, guys, it says April 2020 on that poster. That shows how long it took for this movie to come out. So.
But overall, you think it's worth people's time to check out?
I enjoyed it. I mean, it's not one of my
favorites. If you're okay, tell them what A24 movies, if they liked, they would like this one.
As I said, I mean, if you're okay with something like a ghost story, although that's more of
because It Comes at Night was a big fucking failure, though it did not deliver in the last 20 minutes.
Okay, maybe in tone, it's not like that. I would probably compare it closest to The Witch, just based on just
I did like the last 20 minutes of The Witch.
Based on pacing and payoff, I would compare it closest to The Witch, but there really isn't much directly that you could really correlate it with. So
that's fair. Okay, no, that's good. That's why I wanted that more direct correlation. So all right, so that's Saint Maud. Now, let's talk about another A24-esque movie that both of us watched.
Yes.
This is not an A24 movie, but it is definitely an A24-esque movie, and that is Sator.
Yeah.
Now, this is one that I watched before any of us, and we actually did a trailer reaction to it. I reacted to it with the two girls.
It was on my radar for a while, dude, and Chauncey reviewed it, and a few other people that I know reviewed it, and so I was curious about it, and I missed the 48-hour window when you rented it. So I spent the money myself, and I'm glad I supported this film, because apparently it was a passion project from
one dude.
Dude, one dude. He did, like, did you see the end credits?
The writing, the directing, the producing.
Yeah, dude, the sound editing.
He was like Robert Rodriguez.
Score, he was the gaffer, like everything.
Dude, he was the Robert Rodriguez.
Everything for this movie.
Over the course of 6 years. I was going to say 5, but 6 years.
Because he had like day jobs and different
stuff.
So
all of that is definitely
Admirable. Yeah.
Unfortunately for me, the ultimate payoff, while again it was one of those where it's the last punch of the movie that makes the biggest difference, I don't feel like I've started to like these kinds of movies. I don't want anyone to think that I haven't, because The Dark and the Wicked was one of my top 2 movies of last year.
And dare I say, it's a similar ominous vibe to this.
Yes, very much so. So I can indeed like these kinds of movies. Again, I love The Dark and the Wicked. Sator was good. It just felt like it didn't quite stick the landing like I was hoping it to. Like, it definitely ended with a more grave payoff, without spoiling anything, so to speak. But I feel like it could have been done even a little more creatively or something. Like, I don't know.
Oh man,
the
I
best
thought
way
this
to put
film
it.
had creativity to spare from a
So,
stylistic standpoint, at least.
Okay, that's fair. That's not a good way to put it. Not creatively. It didn't stick with me. It didn't land with me the way Dark and the Wicked did, the way a lot of these other slow burn movies have been. Hereditary hit me a particular way too. Like, slow burn horror, I'm not against it. But it just didn't feel like ultimately throughout the movie I was engaged enough to be like, yes, everyone else needs to run and watch this. It had a good ending.
There's some very slow
But it was like an hour and 10 minutes of lead up to a 10-minute payoff. And that's too long without interest for me.
Okay, I politely disagree. I'm going to be...
So get out. Yeah. So just go.
I'm actually going to reveal something here that I watched it a couple nights ago, and I was so just like...
You have to help answer Jimmy Freckles' question, by the way.
Which is what? I'm trying to see. What did it do? Where's my Dylan's Nightmare vinyl? Laughing out loud. Okay.
Don't worry, Jimmy. The vinyls are still going to be coming. We are waiting to finalize the music.
Too. We have to have a movie too.
The movie too. Yes, true. But the music is done on one side of the vinyl. We're waiting on the music on the other side of the vinyl. But that's not to say that music is slow to get to us. It means that music is being refined, and it's what's going to happen is, instead of one song per side, because of this wait, you're going to get 2 songs per side. Yeah. So, I mean, you're not going to pay any more, and you're going to end up with 4 songs. So I hope that's worth it to you. But yes, those vinyls are still coming. Trust me, Fuego and I are very excited to get our own.
Hell yeah!
Trust me, I don't wish to see Cecil topless. I mean, you paid $100. I'm willing to
push him.
No?
Up,
oh, he said I don't wish. Okay.
Yeah, Corey being like, this is not OnlyFans.
Will you guys ever watch Psycho Gorman? We reviewed it already,
yeah,
Kenichi.
It's on the channel.
We reviewed it. Oh, shit, Zealot. Zealot, I responded to your email. Zealot reached out about possibly helping us create something for the channel. So I don't know if we want to get into it in case it doesn't work, but I'll get into it. So, yes, thank you, Zealot. I did respond to that email.
That's actually really funny. That
OnlyFans, they want me to open.
That's what made me laugh.
Sorry.
Shout out Corey, man. I just saw all of the reminders that 2 years ago in February. Was it 2 years ago?
Or you go by Dylan and I love Freddy, so I'm patient. No worries. Trust me, it's going to be worth the wait.
Indeed.
All this time has done is give me time to make the movie even better than it was going to be.
Yeah, and I saw Vince even talking about that on Twitter the other day with his Womp Stomp Twitter account. He's like he was referring to overwriting versus underwriting and refining, and like him and I follow each other, and I see some of the stuff that he puts on there. He's incredibly insightful, man, and just
and he put the trailer.
He put
the trailer for DNN
really awesome.
on the Womp Stomp or on the Never Hike in the Snow Blu-rays.
That's awesome.
And the VHSs. So yeah, it's gonna be really cool.
Heck yeah.
Okay, so Jimmy Freckles with a $5 super chat. Thank you very much. Much appreciated.
And I encourage everybody, when you put in a super chat, like, tell us something to say or ask us a question or whatever.
Don't worry, Zealot. No stress. I just wanted to make sure you knew that I responded.
Cool. Sator, though, dude, I legitimately, as I was trying to say a moment ago before we segued into mentioning, no, you're fine. No, you're fine. I legitimately watched it again immediately after the first
really?
I watched it right away because of the fact that I was like, there were certain things I was unclear about, and I wanted to make sure that I understood certain character
maybe I
motivations,
should have done that.
certain beats and stuff like that. So because it's only like an 80-something minute movie,
Yeah.
and I did fast forward through certain bits because I wanted to rewatch certain scenes and make sure I understood them properly. Every time you were back at the home, it goes to that pan-scan black and white, which is
footage, the home movie
exactly,
footage.
which is really weird. And I also did not notice at the very beginning of the film where the first person is burned, there was another like elevated, like floating character above the fire of the person. There are so many little bits in this film that, upon a second viewing, I appreciated it so much more.
That's fair. That's
fair. It's not perfect, though, because there are lengthy bits where there's no dialogue of any kind, and I don't know if it necessarily, like, pushes the pace forward the way you would want. The brother who is afflicted by Sator, he's the one who's living out with his dog on his own and stuff, and the other brother comes and visits him.
To me, this was the closest to the witch.
In a lot of ways.
The other ones that we've compared.
Yes, truly.
You know
it also had a little bit of...
or the witch.
What was the Netflix one where the guys were camping and there was the weird tree forest monster? The Ritual. Yeah. That was another one.
That's in my...
which I had some vibes from this.
That may or may not have made it into my best monster list.
That's what's up, man. Oh, yeah. No, this
it's a
movie,
folklore creature.
Yeah, it is. It is. As this one is as well. Sator is basically like...
Oh, you're right. That's good count.
Yeah. It's and the payoff with finally seeing it, unfortunately... It's spoiled if you rent it on Amazon Prime like I did, where you see the ram horns and all that different stuff, which is kind of a bummer. But I really dug this movie, man. It's not perfect, obviously, but especially upon repeated viewings and the old woman just talking talking those passages that she's like, there's almost like a voice in my head, and it just... I don't know, based on my religious background, maybe this hit me a little bit harder because it seemed like such inadvertent demonic possession and just the casualness of it.
Yeah.
You know, I'm just hearing a voice and I just write it down. And then when you realize that it passes from generation to generation, like the mother is actually writing down everything. And then the grandson, who is the one who's out there with his dog in the middle of nowhere, you know, setting up the cameras and trying to find Sator. I really liked this movie, man. I really did. So
I liked the pictures, the Polaroids, right? And how they didn't know what to look for at first and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it was good. The Ritual was badass. Is Sator anything? Sator is not
completely
anything
different.
Like the Ritual.
Completely
different.
As he said,
Mr. Jordan, I love the Ritual.
Much more A24.
Fucking fantastic, that movie. Yeah. This was not that. But this was not... This was basically, again, I feel like it's the closest to The Witch that we've gotten from a lot of these slow build horror movies, complete with a similar ending payoff that The Witch had. I like the Witch's ending better than this, but I can see a lot of people making that comparison. And
the sound design is really good, and I mean the fact that this one guy pretty much spearheaded this project and did so much. It took a number of years, obviously, but you know, props in that regard to finishing it off.
So next, let's do another one that. So Fuego has watched a number of these that I have not watched.
All of these.
So yeah, let's move on to another one that you've seen that I have not. We'll try and do every other maybe that I've seen. So let's go with Red Dot. Now this is a foreign movie that is on Netflix. Yes,
Swedish film.
Okay,
yes.
We did a trailer reaction for it. It reminded me of that. I forget the director's name that did the sniper movie Survive or whatever on the side of the road by the same guy that did No One Lives, the same director. We watched it at a film festival.
Oh, God damn it.
It's the same. It's the sniper. It's two people trapped by a car by a sniper.
Well, yeah, it was multiple friends.
Yeah. What was that called?
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, that's what I got the vibe of when we watched the trailer for this.
No, it's a... God, what's the name of that Japanese director now? I'm trying to...
I can't remember. He did Godzilla Final Wars. He did...
He did...
oh, my God. Oh, this is going to piss me off.
It's going to kill us. Well, as he's looking...
Go ahead. I'll look it up.
Basically, Red Dot is about a couple, a Swedish couple, that they decide to go on holiday... And the wife has just recently found out that she's pregnant.
Ryuhei Kitamura.
Yes, Kitamura.
So what did he do? What was the one that we're talking about? What's the sniper one?
Well, okay, the sniper one was Revenge, if I'm not mistaken.
Revenge, yeah.
It took a second to come back.
No, not Revenge. Yeah. No. It wasn't Revenge.
No, it wasn't Revenge. Revenge was the one.
Revenge
with
was the girl that got left out in the desert.
The French movie, yeah.
No, this one was Downrange.
Downrange.
That's what it was called.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
So Downrange was a 2017 thriller where
similar vibes.
People were driving down the desert road and their tires get shot out. And they're basically trapped on the side of the road by their car by a sniper. Mm-hmm. So, Downrange. Thank you, Mr. Jordan. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah, and he also did the great Clive Barker adaptation of the Midnight Meat Train.
Yeah, dude. Really, Kitamura is awesome.
He's awesome director.
No One Lives and Midnight Meat Train are just fucking rad. Mm-hmm. But anyway, so please, Red Dot, hit me with it.
Yeah, so basically, as I said, a couple goes on holiday, wife is pregnant but has yet to tell her husband. The film starts out...
DMT's looking for a block, is what he's looking for.
Well, actually...
With this Halloween 2 bullshit, anyway.
Well, the film starts out, and I really don't like when films give you a way later in the movie bit, and then they fast forward backwards, which is what we get at the beginning of this.
Fast forward backwards? You mean rewind?
Rewind backwards. Derps. Thank you, vodka. But
reviews with booze.
Yeah, kind of at this particular point. Mm-hmm. But so you jump back to where he is proposing, and it's all sweet and whatever, and then it gets back to near present. And they go on this holiday. There's friction within the relationship. She confides in a neighbor that she is pregnant, hasn't told husband yet. So they go on this camping trip, and they're trying to see the Northern Lights. You know, they're in Sweden and everything. And they go on this little, just cute camping, bonding sort of thing. Stuff is going very well, except for the fact that they had a little altercation with a couple guys who were just coming back from a hunting trip when they were stopping to get gas. The husband accidentally... he's trying to pull the vehicle out, and he dings their vehicle. They see each other later. There is still continuing tension, and then she is black, and he is white, and so these two, white Swedish guys come and give some racially tense sort of shit. And she gets mad. She takes a screwdriver or something and just racks the side of their truck. And then they go out and they start camping. And suddenly we get what we see in the preview of the red dots and people shooting at them from a distance. This is a movie that takes a very, very drastic turn in the third act. It tries to pull the wool over your eyes. It tries to do something different. They make you think the killers are one particular contingent, and they are not. And then in the third act, it pulls the curtain back, the wool, whatever you want to say, and then you realize the motivation of this killer. I'm trying really hard not to spoil stuff. It was an interesting, relatively novel twist, but I can't say I necessarily liked it very much.
Okay.
And boy, this is one that I would love to spoil because it's just honestly outlandish how everything transpires, and they have to almost spoon feed you. Well, this is why this happened, and then this led to this, and this led to this, and so on and so forth. But it's a very dark ending, that's for sure. There's a lot of bloodshed, and it's well directed, and I was impressed with all of the performances throughout. So Red Dot currently on Netflix, at least here in North America. I'm not sure what the case is because, as we found out from our buddy Mikey Mnemonic, sometimes things are available overseas in different regions, and they're not always available here. I would hope this very stylistic and well acted and relatively brutal Swedish film is available worldwide. But if you guys have seen it in the chat, let us know. And that's about all I have to say. I would actually recommend this, dude. It's not even. It's around 90 minutes. That's the sweet spot for most horror films. But I have to
actually pay. I've been watching so much. I actually have to pay attention.
It's subtitled. Yeah, it is totally subtitled. They speak some English here and there, but that's about. That's
okay.
about
DMT says no spoils. I would actually watch this. So he says, "Is it worth it?" Yes.
I liked it.
Says it's worth it.
Yeah, I totally liked it.
I am talking up No One Lives in the chat because a lot of people haven't seen or heard of it, apparently, including Crystal and Zealot. And we reviewed it on our first season, both regular and spoiler review.
It was you and Susie?
It might have been me and Morgan, honestly.
Oh, yeah, that's right, because Marsha didn't come till second season.
Yeah, Marsha didn't come until season 2 or 3, actually, at this point, because Morgan was still around in the second season. So, yeah, that was an early review, but I absolutely love that movie. That's a movie where... So the plot of No One Lives, quite plainly, is
what a name.
A terrible man that has kidnapped a woman, runs afoul of some hicks in the country that steal the woman from him, and they don't realize that he is a badder ass than they are. So the bad guy
right?
goes, Luke Evans, Lord of the Rings, pre-Fang, and he goes to get his kidnappee back from this group of people, and he does not hold back. It is fucking dope.
It's like evil encountering even worse evil.
It's available on Netflix Canada. Gonna watch it before bed tonight. Zealot, come back and let us know what you thought of it. I fucking love No One Lives.
Okay, so as I said, it's evil encountering even worse evil sort of
Situation,
situation, right?
Yeah. It's dumbass evil. It's these bad guys would be the bad guys of a normal horror movie. But what they don't realize is they're up against a better bad guy from a better horror movie. Do you know what I mean? Like, Luke Evans is the baddest bad guy from another horror movie that these bad guys from a shittier horror movie are taking on.
Okay, so he's not like organized crime, killer.
No. He is a single one-off fucking psychotic dude. Yeah, it's really cool. From what I remember. I mean, again, I might not have seen it in 10 years.
Zachary, so this was a WWE production.
Best WWE production. There you go.
Yeah.
It's
so this was the same time they were doing, Zachary, like the See No Evil with Kane.
I liked the See No Evil movies, to be honest.
Because I know the Soskas did the second one.
I don't like that one because I don't like the Soskas. But all right, let's move on from Red Dot.
Those sisters.
Let's do another one. Let's do another one that you see. This is right here. Just one of the reasons I love watching y'all's content. You introduced me to so many great movies that are rarely, if ever, talked about. Yeah, man, that's what we love about our channel. Any movie that we've reviewed is a movie we think is worth bringing to your attention. Whether for good or bad, whether to tell you to avoid or not. Yeah, but especially early on, the first couple seasons of the channel, we specifically seeked out movies that not a lot of people have watched. Right. Sought out movies that not a lot of people have watched, including... What's that other one? Nothing Left to Fear. No one left to fear.
Oh shit!
The one that was the country one that that was really good that not a lot of people know about.
120 Acres?
No.
Because I like that one. I also really like The Bay, the Barry Levinson one that you guys reviewed.
The Bay. That by the way might be one of my best virus. That might be my best virus monster.
That one is disgusting. I love that movie. And when you say you love something disgusting, that's really...
Wait, what was I just talking about before The Bay?
Bold proclamation.
What was the one before The Bay?
No One Survives? No one... Oh, it was something...
Nothing Left to Fear, I think. I think it was Nothing Left to Fear. Nothing... Let's see what it pulls up. Yeah, Nothing Left to Fear.
Happens.
Nothing Left to Fear. So that was season one also.
I never watched that, and that's you.
That was the one that had a singer, a big rock star was involved in that one, in the production of it. That was a really good movie with Clancy Brown.
Not on camera.
No, not on camera, behind the scenes. So Nothing Left to Fear is another one you guys should seek out.
We love Clancy Brown on this channel.
Yeah, Clancy Brown's dope. The Girl Next Door. No, it's called Nothing Left to Fear.
The Girl Next Door is a terrific movie, though, and Alicia Cuthbert is beautiful.
Look at that. DMT, you're absolutely correct. I thought I watched lots of horror, but these guys have introduced me to so much more. Yeah, man, we love it. We love... Fuego, it's February 28th. How many horror movies did you say you've watched already from 2021?
I've already watched like 65 newly released movies, and that's just new.
That's films. How we know what to recommend.
That's just new films that have come out this year. We're not even talking about my lengthy list of everything, almost 300 from the last year, because I break it down by yearly release on my Letterboxd. So
by the way, we put
up Fuego on Letterboxd.
We put your Brain Damage review up, you and Robert. I finally watched it for the first time.
It's not a perfect movie.
It's not a perfect movie, but it was pretty funny.
It's interesting.
Having that smooth, silky voice come out of that crazy creature is really funny.
Hi, Brian.
Hey, Brian.
Brian, and a life of...
You're going to have to feed me, Brian.
Life of sensation and euphoria.
All right, so let's go on to the next one. Look, you've watched way more than me, so let's go with the Barbara Crampton flick.
This was a great movie, actually.
Really? Okay.
This was a great movie. It's a
Sacrifice.
It's a great low budget film in the fact that basically you have this.
Yeah, we watched and reviewed Sea Fever. We actually were a little underwhelmed by it. You might like The Beach House more if you liked Sea Fever. Give The Beach House a try, Zealot.
But as far as Sacrifice goes, so. This is a film that was actually shot overseas, if I'm not mistaken, somewhere in like Scandinavia. But don't hit me if I'm incorrect. But So
Your brain damage. I guess I nailed the voice. One of us nailed the voice.
Yeah.
Hello, Brian.
Well,
Of course, just come on over here.
I'll
help you, Brian.
I just need to feed Brian.
I just need you to feed me, Brian. Yeah.
Oh, there's some nasty scenes in that movie, I swear. Especially with the punk rocker chick when he goes outside the club and he's getting...
It was so... And the thing that happens at the end when the guy's like, and he's like, squeeze, juice,
I just
juice,
love the
juice.
commentary.
I was like, oh, damn.
And there's also the basket case cameo on the subway.
Yeah, right? That was great. That was
a
super
shared
fun.
universe,
Yep.
you know?
Sorry, okay, I keep cutting you off. Please,
it's fine.
sacrifice Fuego.
Yeah, so just to give some brief background about this film. So there is... The film essentially starts with a mother taking her child out of a home, presumably somewhere in Europe, where she's like covered in blood and she's like washing her hands in the sink and everything. She takes her young son, and she leaves. Fast forward to this son apparently grown up, and he is returning to said town.
It was Zachary. I didn't even realize the voice was Zachary. It had to have been Zachary. So the only reason... So Captain... Sorry.
You're fine.
Captain Midnight the Chrononaut says Zachary is awesome. I'm guessing Zachary was the voice of the brain damage mutant, because I used to listen to Howard Stern, and he would always talk about how Zachary would talk like Zachary. Yeah. So I'm guessing that Zachary did the voice. Okay, sorry.
Eldred,
I apologize.
Aylmer,
not Elmer. Aylmer. Yeah. So sorry for derailing. Continue, Fuego. I apologize. I'm learning things by looking at the chat.
No, you're fine. You're fine. So this is a very Lovecraft-inspired bit of zaniness, because the kid from the beginning of this film, he comes back with his new wife, who is pregnant, and they have inherited this home from his mother, who's passed away, and he's getting a lot of shit from the locals in this weird seaside island town initially. And when he mentions his actual last name, immediately they stop fucking with him and they start revering him. And Barbara Crampton is in it. She basically plays the local sheriff, head of law enforcement. But she has a very peculiar daughter, and the entire town is just very strange. You get some serious original Wicker Man vibes from this, in the fact that you're like, okay, it's a completely isolated town. They have weird religious practices as far as like baptizing, but they're worshiping old ones in the ground, and so to speak. So it is very Lovecraft in that regard, but the dialogue is very snippy, especially and just very intelligent, especially between the boy who is grown up and has come back and his wife, who suspects everybody is going nuts, and there's lots of evil amiss in this. She doesn't trust anybody, and also just the descent into madness with returning to his old stomping grounds and realizing the destiny that he was meant for without spoiling stuff. It's another slow burn, but it is beautifully shot. Another one dealing with Northern Lights, and as I think back to Red Dot and what the couple was trying to deal with there. And
Castle Freak.
That too.
The new Castle Freak went that.
Which I actually watched. Yeah.
Oh, you did? You got around to it?
Oh yeah, where there's the whole body swap when the blindfold and the sex and such. My God. And also
remind me to tell you,
also the finale
there's
of
something,
that one.
Yeah, the big time Lovecraft finale.
Lovecraft Old Gods has really become back in vogue with I mean, even the Spike Lee project we were talking about the other day, and then obviously Lovecraft Country, which just a little while ago lost the Golden Globe for best television drama to The Crown. That's beside the point. His storytelling, Lovecraft, despite all of his flaws as a racist sumbitch, he definitely had a lot of interesting ideas, and he is seeing a serious resurgence in Hollywood right now. This film is very good. Barbara Crampton is pretty terrific in it. All of the performances across the board, including the native guys who own the bar, who befriend the husband who's returning to his hometown. The finale is very satisfying. I really enjoyed this movie. Really thought it was pretty damn great.
Someone asked, is it a Shudder movie? Do you know? Is it just
I had the VOD
only?
Yep. Currently, it is VOD only. I had to rent it, but I think it was only $3.99, at least here in North America. It's definitely worth
better than Willy's Wonderland.
Yeah. It's not a premium VOD or anything like that. It is a well acted, directed, and written slow burn that I found very fascinating. And you may think you know where stuff is going as far as the destiny of this guy who has come back to his hometown, which is an isolated island in the middle of nowhere in Scandinavia. But it's probably not exactly what you're foreseeing, which was cool.
So there are, looks like 6 reviews left for us to do. And 2 of them I'm in on, 4 of them you're doing alone. So let's space it out. Let's do The Reckoning next. Okay. Because I'm in on that one.
Okay, so
The Reckoning
lead this one.
is the new Neil Marshall movie. This is by the same guy that made Dog Soldiers as well as The Descent.
Yeah, man.
And he made his own witch movie. And I had heard something about this, and I was definitely interested. And then Fuego said, "Hey, I already watched this. If anyone wants, I've got a couple days to watch it." So I logged on and I watched it, and I definitely liked it more than like The Pale Door. But it wasn't quite as grand scope as I thought it was going to be. It was just literally about one woman who, by the way, I thought the movie opened brilliantly and very artistically, right? It starts off with this woman.
Which is her
it's
mother,
juxtaposing
right?
two. No. It's her, but it's juxtaposing 2 different times. It's her seeing her husband off to war, as well as her burying her husband after having
that opening.
That opening is what I'm talking about.
Very, very.
No. I'm talking about after that.
Her mother burned.
No. So it's this wonderful opening to a movie where it's 2 different scenes juxtaposed. It's her having this loving goodbye to her husband as he goes off to fight in a battle, as juxtaposed with her burying him after he dies in said battle, and her holding onto his sword, the sword you see in the poster here. I thought it was, quite frankly, one of the most engaging openings to a movie like this that I've ever seen. Unfortunately for me, I feel like it then became pigeonholed because it's just about this one girl getting accused of witchcraft and having to survive being beaten and asked to admit to being a witch and all this and all this and all this. That's all it is.
All
is
the
her
horrible stuff that they do to her after she is accused and taken into custody and stuff. And
this movie is not unlike another one we reviewed recently called The Woman. Marcia and I reviewed, which is just endurance of a woman being beaten throughout an entire movie.
And I have issues with watching stuff like that since I, have at least as much as I can maintain. I was raised to have the utmost respect for women. And
100%.
So, yeah, man. And so that's why anything that is just... And horror is notorious for the female-centric abuse for whatever reason. And I have a big issue with that. Charlotte Kirk, interestingly enough, has a lot of personal controversy away from the screen currently. That's our lead lady. She is the one who has toppled a bunch of different executives in various areas of Hollywood for extramarital affairs. Ooh. She has slept with guys to get roles, and there was a lot of murmuring that she was doing the same thing with Neil Marshall. There was a big-time write-up. It was either THR or Variety or one of the big major trades, but I thought she was pretty good, man.
Yeah, she was a great actress, and it looks like Crystal's actually seen this one. Yes, Joshua, we did already talk about Saint Maud. We got that earlier.
Unfortunately.
I ever watched Dagon? No, Captain Midnight. Let me know what Dagon is about.
It's another Lovecraft.
I have been wanting to watch Dagon for years. I've heard it's really good, but I've never watched it. Let me know if I really need to watch it.
Who was the one who mentioned it?
Captain Midnight, the Chrononaut.
Okay. Yeah, Captain Midnight, man. I've seen the skinning scene. That's the only bit from that one that I...
I think it's VOD only right now, Zealot. So Crystal is agreeing with us that this one is worth the time to check out.
Yeah, I actually... This
Best horror channel and honest reviews. Thank you, David.
Thanks,
Much heart. Yeah, Antoine de Torme. Oh, God, I don't know if I'm saying that right. Thanks, guys. Just discovered your channel, and I've been looking for something like that. I love horror movies.
Yeah.
We have tons. We have over 3,000 episodes on the channel.
Over 3,500 at this point.
You might be right. And by the way, our Patreon, we have over 100 reviews that are only Patreon exclusive reviews. You can only see them on Patreon, but for $1 a month, you can go and watch over 100 reviews that are not available on the channel proper.
Yeah, so
Crystal knows. Crystal can tell you. Crystal's a patron. She knows.
Yeah, I see Captain Midnight is reminding that Stuart Gordon... Yeah, it was Stuart Gordon directing based on a Lovecraft story. And so Stuart Gordon has adapted a ton of Lovecraft, whether it was...
Okay, Stuart Gordon, that's Reanimator style.
Yeah,
and From Beyond, right?
Yeah, which both were also H.P. Lovecraft. You know, Dagon H.P. Lovecraft, Stuart Gordon adapting, just like From Beyond. And
maybe we'll have to do a review of it then.
I've liked pretty much any time he's attempted to adapt, and it's cool with him coming back into this. But
so, what else do you have to say about The Reckoning, though?
I liked it.
You thought it was fun,
dude? I enjoyed it. It's not as full on horror as many people might expect, and there's definitely a lot of check your brain in at the doors. My father would say.
You did say that before we started, and I got that. But
her perfect
quite frankly,
teeth and hair and all this other
there's
stuff.
That. But quite frankly,
and also the way she's able to rise to the occasion and become this super badass,
it is
castles.
Yeah,
and all
it is
shit,
a little bit, Wonder Woman, Elektra-y, but whatever.
But I liked it.
But it's not bad. No, it's fun.
liked it.
And again, that intro hit home so hard, the way they juxtapose those two scenes. Like, I've never seen that before, where it's a woman passionately saying goodbye to her husband. Normally these scenes are played like,
and also
the whole movie is about him making it back to her.
Well, and also,
meanwhile, this one starts, she's saying goodbye, and then we immediately cut to her having to bury him and going back and forth and juxtaposing was just brilliant.
Just her wrenching to try to just get enough energy to even dig the hole for her husband. And obviously, just going against the possibility of being infected herself as she's burying... Because this takes place during the Black Death or the Black Plague or whatever they called it. Mm-hmm. It's 1600s and stuff. And so you have the plague doctors going around with those crazy-ass masks. From a stylistic standpoint, I've seen a lot of people talk shit about this movie. I thought that the set design and the costuming and everything was really cool. And whether it was like the castle and dungeon sort of areas that they filmed a lot of stuff. Also the creature design where she is being tempted and all that stuff is going down. I really enjoyed this movie, man. And even the survivor from The Witchburn, who is the henchman of the main guy. I thought that was really dope, too. I mean, there is some cheese and, once again, stuff you have to overlook if you're trying to, like, split hairs and be like, oh, well, that's not very believable. If you overlook all that stuff, this was a fun romp. This was, dare I say, the sort of popcorn horror action period piece that I would have liked to have seen in the theater, because I feel like it would have lent itself to that sort of experience.
I agree.
I would have been more forgiving of some of its sins, so to speak.
DMT. Well, guys, I only mentioned the Patreon if you're interested and you were available.
Not trying to jam it down
anyone's throat. He said, I wish I could.
Being here is the most
DMT
important.
says, I wish could I really do. I have 8 YouTube channels that I would donate to if I could. I'm poor. I live with my uncle. No worries at all.
No, you being here and just having palaver with us is the most important part, for sure.
Oh, I did. I saw Zealot says Patreon will be coming in the next few weeks. I did buy 2 T-shirts off the merch store this week. I saw those. I saw those sales come through. Thank you, Zealot. Much appreciated. Zealot found us through Jay from Bloodbath and Beyond. Our Drunken Disorderly stream.
Yeah.
So
I was gonna say he was on during the news stream on Wednesday.
Yeah. Jonah, a new commenter that I've seen, Cecil and Fuego, love you guys, been watching for years. Fuego is my Ridley Scott Alien franchise homie. What up? Good to see you, Jonah. And also he says, congratulations on becoming a father, Cecil. Hope you and your family are healthy and doing well. Yes, my son is doing awesome. The 4-year-old daughter that is now mine to care for as well is doing awesome. My lovely lady is doing awesome. Everyone is doing great. But my son,
soup that we had.
She made a delicious calabacita soup tonight that was fucking phenomenal. So I am doing very well as far as that. Thank you so much for asking, Jonah. That is very nice. Zealot, anything Neil Marshall makes, I absolutely love. Dog Soldiers and the Descent are some of my all-time favorites. Absolutely. Dog Soldiers, Werewolves are pretty tough to top. So.
Yeah, I gotta say.
All right, Fuego. Next up is another one that's you solo. So, Fear the Rain. I don't know what this is about.
Fear the Rain!
Okay, go for it. Sure.
Okay, so this is a film about a girl, and I am trying to recall the specifics of whether she has Oh man, I don't think it's necessarily multiple personality, because I know there's different distinctions about having multiple personalities or being schizophrenic or all that other stuff. But she was in a couple different horror films that I have seen. She has a couple parents that are none other than, oh boy, I'm trying to remember. I know Harry Connick Jr. was one, Jenna Elfman is another one, but that is, and maybe it's not even Jenna Elfman, but beside the point, the film essentially starts with her thinking she sees something in a graveyard, and she is constantly, over the course of this film, whether it's dream or waking nightmares, questioning reality. And it is, for a PG-13 horror film, it is incredibly well shot, wonderfully acted. She spends a number of weeks away from school after she attempts to kill herself. She reintegrates to school, and this guy who is just transferred is none other than the love interest of Jessica Roth, aka Tree, from the Happy Death Day movies. Yep. Yeah, the guy who he almost looks like a younger Jeremy London or something.
Sure.
From Mallrats or Dazed and Confused. I know there's Jason and Jeremy. They both basically look the same. But the film is essentially centered around her believing that a nearby neighbor of hers is holding a young child captive that she saw looking out the window at one particular point. And since she is imagining so many other things, including when she's in the shower and when she's getting dressed and various other points, like, she is imagining a ton of different things, and she gets off her meds and she imagines more. Harry Connick Jr. as her father is constantly questioning her. It is a film that definitely, throughout the script and throughout very convincing performance, keeps you guessing. Our buddy Jason Smith from Sinister Reviews, actually, Sinister Cinema Reviews, he did a review of this, and I watched it, and I was like, I forgot all about that movie, I need to go rent it, and lo and behold, I did, and I was very impressed with it, most notably from the performance standpoint, and the fact that this younger actress is legit in selling what this sort of disorder could entail, but even more so, the filmmakers and the sound design, more so than anything else. The hearing of voices, especially divergent and just counteractive voices, where one is telling you somebody's intentions are one thing, and other voices are telling you another, character's intentions are another thing, and just being torn this way and that, and trying to determine, where to go and what to do. It was a very effective and convincing film, and I was incredibly impressed with this one. I know it's on VOD. I rented it, I think, on Redbox. I think it's floating around in those. If you're willing to spend like $195. You've got the child photo, but yeah. Fear of Rain, I believe it is. The lead character's name is Rain.
Fear of Rain?
Fear
God
of
damn
Rain.
it, I got it wrong.
Yeah, it's fine.
Whatever, Fuego!
But yeah, this is one that I was incredibly impressed by, and you're basically questioning, like, what is real, what is not. Even if characters are real, like, is this wonderful new transfer student guy that she has struck up this friendship with, potential romance, is he even real, or has she imagined him? So, if anybody has seen this film, Fear of Rain, it impressed me. It legitimately did, and I hope it gets to a streaming service where it can find a larger audience, whether it's Netflix or Prime or Hulu or, whatever, because it's pretty damn good.
I'm going to have to correct the
it's
title.
It's good.
So, Steven Stryker asked, do your kids like horror? They're too young. One's 4 and one is brand new, so haven't been able to introduce them yet. Richard Weiskopf, love your reviews. You guys keep me current with the new movies. It's Richard, the cancer guy. Hope you guys are all well. What's up, Richard? No, Richard is going through some stuff, and we always say hello to Richard and wish him the best. Thank you for checking us out, as always, Richard. I saw the trailer for this one a while back. From everything Fuego said, I'm real excited for as good as it looked.
And Ben Grimm is correct. It's not Jenna Elfman. It's Katherine Heigl. So it's Katherine Heigl and Harry Connick Jr. are the parents. And I could double check real quick about where this actress has been.
Go ahead, and while you do, I'm going to do something I never do and show a old picture.
Oh boy.
Of the boy. I'll show you guys the family because you were asking. I'm just going to show you the
Madison
boy.
Iceman, I think is.
Just one little picture right here. So This is my little barrel boy.
Oh yeah, that's right.
He's the size of a barrel right now. He's a Chi-Chi baby. He likes to eat all the stuffs.
And he's rocking the Batman.
And yes, he's rocking the bat symbol there. And then the one other picture that I have to share is this one here. So I'll share those two pictures right there if you guys want to see what the boy is looking like. But he's adorable. He's coming along. Just introduce us. Eek. All right, so I'm probably gonna get my ass handed to me for
I was
sharing
gonna say
those.
Ben Grimm has beaten me to the punch, and the fact that not with anything specific. She is apparently the daughter. The daughter of Billy Ray Cyrus's character in Still the King. But yeah, she was in the Jumanji movies. Goosebumps 2, Annabelle Comes Home. But yeah, she is quite good in this. Sells the affliction incredibly well, and yes. Fear of Rain, seek it out as far as PG-13 horror goes, along with one that I'm going to be doing, hopefully, a review proper with you, which is called the Vigil, if I remember.
Yes, yeah. Now that you've talked that well about it, I will definitely check it out.
The Vigil is awesome. Just came out this past week.
Everyone's saying congrats on the pick. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Yeah, he's pretty freaking adorable.
Indeed, sir.
All right, next one is another one that Fuego watched that I haven't yet, although I'm very tempted to, even though I hear it's not great.
Not great.
But I am interested. I like there's a monster in it, right?
Oh, there's a gremlin. It's
gremlin on the side of the... It's the Twilight Zone episode, right?
Yeah, except taking place during World War II. Chloe Grace Moretz.
Shadow in the Cloud is what we're talking about for podcast
Shadow in the Cloud!
Because, yes, this podcast will be made available in the next couple days. If you guys didn't know, this show is available as a podcast on iTunes and Stitcher. It's not on
Podcast One.
It's not on Podcast One, and it's not on
Spotify
yet. But I need to figure out once it will be. But it is on Apple and Stitcher as a podcast. There's well over 330 episodes of the podcast, if you guys are curious.
Yeah, and we've talked about transferring some of the Stephen King stuff there amongst
I'm waiting for you to tell me which ones you want me to do.
Yeah, it's the more evergreen ones I think would make the most sense. But anyway, this one, Chloe Grace Moretz, essentially poses as she's trying to get onto this plane as somebody who she is not. She's rocking this British accent, and this is where it's tough not to spoil stuff in this, because this film starts out really awesome. A badass dude. The gremlin looks rad. Okay. I have to say, even though it's CG, but it's really convincing and cool CG. They put her in this weird lower compartment of the plane because they don't have any documentation that she's supposed to be heading out with them with the rest of these Allied forces. I guess you would classify them as. And then the film decides to take a weird turn when you find out what her package she is carrying actually is.
Uh-oh.
And that's
is it
where...
the suitcase from Pulp Fiction?
I
Might as well be.
Well, there's at least distinction, because we never know what is in that glowing suitcase.
I saw a picture of what was in the glowing suitcase. It's just a yellow bulb and like some transistors and stuff to make it work. I was like... That takes away from the movie.
Yeah, it does. I mean, within the constraints of the story. But in this one, yes, you get confirmation.
Freaking hipsters. Fuck you, Zachary.
Yeah, you get...
Podcast has been going for years.
You get... And honestly, dude, podcasts are in a lot of ways, wave of the future as far as...
podcasts make bank right now, certain ones.
They do.
My favorite is the H3 podcast, and they make money.
Dude, a ton of people that I watch on YouTube, they're like... YouTube monetization, that doesn't give a shit. Like, we make the most if you rate and blah blah on iTunes and all the other.
You're a part of a podcast that does very well. Profiling Pain, no?
Yeah, no, I mean, I was until he moved to Casa Grande, so yeah.
Oh shit, he moved?
Yeah, he moved to Casa Grande after.
So is Profiling Pain done?
He's still he's been doing little remote bites since he got some
Damn, you guys were onto something with that. I thought
we were.
Wow, that's
yeah, we were.
Sorry. But didn't mean to bring up something a sore subject.
No, it's fine. But without spoiling stuff, if you guys have seen Shadow in the Cloud, you know the twist as to what she actually has with her that I found nerve-wracking and ridiculous. And if we're talking check your brain in from The Reckoning, holy shit, some of the stuff that Chloe Grace Moretz does after she gets out of this plane and is climbing around this plane.
Oh no!
As the gremlin and the different stuff is going down.
Who's flying the plane?
It's well, there's a whole crew of people.
Oh, okay. So it's not like the plane is flying itself. While
no, there's a crew of like maybe 10, 12, dozen type guys who are on this, and they begrudgingly allow her to come on, and she's got this like secret case of stuff that she's trying to bring with her. Max Landis wrote this, and he's got some flack recently. He's very hit and miss with me because of the fact that there's some stuff
American Ultra was great.
Yeah, there's some stuff of Max Landis's I think is badass and awesome.
He's written a couple of excellent comic book series,
and he's written some stinkers, dude.
He is a douche above douches.
Yeah, he is the epitome of the entitled son of a famous Hollywood person in a lot of ways.
Dude.
I still remember. Didn't he do that video where he was sitting drinking?
The Death of Superman. That's what brought him into pop culture. Was his dissertation on the Death of Superman.
Yeah. But this movie, man, once you figure out what's really...
watched Porno. Appreciated your review of the movie. I actually watched that after the fact, too, Porno.
Some of the worst testicle mutilation that I have seen in a film ever.
Yeah, it was okay.
It was cringeworthy.
I enjoyed the movie.
Yeah. And the fact that they're going back and forth...
Do I need to watch this or no? Do I not need to watch this for you?
The stuff with the gremlin is really good. But the script, aside from that, sucks.
That's all that makes me want to watch it.
It's short. I mean, it's like around that sweet spot, right around 90 minutes, And Chloe Grace isn't bad. You also have Nick Robinson in this, who was on A Teacher and a few other things. I've grown to like that dude as an actor, but yeah, it's relatively forgettable in a lot of ways. I mean, this is one that I think maybe we would have enjoyed if we saw it in a theater because of the fact that it's a plane flying over, in the midst of World War II. It's got
I would have enjoyed it. Yeah.
It's got some of those vibes of what was the J.J. Abrams produced one that we dug where there were zombie experiment sort of shit going on. I'm trying to recall the title. It's eluding me. One? Yeah, it's
Overlord.
Overlord. Yeah, it starts out making you think it's going to be like Overlord, except as opposed to that sort of zombie experimental type bit. It's like, oh, there's randomly a gremlin.
Yeah, that's the vibe that I'm getting too, Zealot. It's basically the gremlin from Twilight Zone episode, except it's on this plane.
Oh yeah, Matheson. Yeah, for sure. Which was another Richard Matheson, which we just reviewed Duel for Patron earlier tonight. So
it all ties in.
Yeah, This is one that compared to a few of the others like Sator and Fear of Rain. This is one that I would put at the back end of everything we've talked about tonight.
So we've got 3 more to discuss. 1 I've seen and 2 I have not. So let's do... You know what? Let's finish with the one I've seen. Let's continue with another one that you've seen that I have not. #like. What is this?
#like is basically about
this. Is a horror movie?
It's more so a thriller than like a full-on horror film. But interestingly enough, the thing that caught my eye about this one, besides the trailer and a really strong performance from this female lead, was that so the bad guy essentially was also in another film that I saw recently called Alone. Now there were 2 different movies called Alone that came out in 2020. One was kind of a quarantine zombie movie where this guy is stuck in...
That was #alone.
That was the one where the O in Alone was like the biohazard symbol.
Okay.
And that was the one that had... it's of ill importance, but it was kind of like that Night Eats the World that you talked about, where they're like stuck in the apartment. Yeah, but it's just one guy in that film, and he looks across the way, and he's communicating with this girl on the other side of the complex through like written messages and stuff like that. Really good movie. The other Alone film that was just Alone by itself from 2020 was about this girl who is driving after her husband dies, and she's trying to relocate, and this dude who is also in this film basically terrorizes her, kidnaps her. He is also the male lead in this movie. And so #like, without like splitting hairs and getting everything confused here, #like the girl that we're seeing in the trailer right there, her younger sister was an aspiring like YouTuber personality and doing lots of vlogs and talking about her aspirations for fame and whatever. And we're talking a young girl like 11, 12 years old. And her younger sister apparently had a bunch of bullies, like makeup. All these different stories about her being a slut and this horrible person. And then the older sister, who we see in the poster there, also finds out that her younger sister was like exchanging inappropriate messages with like grown men. and like predator type of guys. And her sister commits
Hashtag alive,
Yeah.
not alone. Thank
Yeah.
you, Zachary.
and her that's a different movie. That's a different movie than this one. But hashtag like the younger sister commits suicide, hangs herself in her closet, and the older sister is just riddled with grief and the whole survivor's guilt of trying to figure out how I could have helped save my sister's life. And she starts doing all of this like tech-savvy investigation with a couple of friends of hers from school and a couple of her girlfriends and whatnot, and even like on the ground sort of investigation. And she finds the guy that she presumes was the one who exchanged this grown man who exchanged all these messages with Dude. And as you see in the trailer, she kidnaps him and locks him in her basement and proceeds to torture him throughout a good chunk of the movie. And she's just like, yeah, you're into little girls, you sick fuck.
God.
And like it is a rough watch, man, but the performances are so stellar and so goddamn good. And she is obviously obsessive and unstable based on all of that guilt that she's experiencing herself. It's only available on VOD, but I saw some reviews from fellow critics that saw it on the festival circuit about a year or so ago before pandemic, and they were like, yeah, it's finally rentable, and you guys should check this out because it is a rough watch, but damn is it good. This young actress who you see there in the poster, she kills it, no pun intended, man. She's bloodthirsty, and whether it's warranted or not is the big mystery of the film. And it's like, okay, we know this guy's a sicko, but whether he did it or not is what it really boils down to. And it's a damn good movie. It's
Okay.
It's compelling.
Cool.
So,
You've caught some good ones then.
Indeed.
Michael M is here. I got to the party
Yeah.
late, but I like the live shows. What's up, Michael? Good to see you. Okay, so another one that you watched that I have not yet, Fuego, is The Queen of Black Magic.
Yeah, another one of
This is
these-
another foreign one, yes?
Yep, it's another foreign one. Boy, I believe Thailand, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, please do not hold me to that.
All the lady boys, sir. All the lady boys.
I know it's a remake of a film from, I believe, the late 80s or the early 90s, but just premise, essentially, is the fact that this guy is returning to the orphanage that he grew up in with his wife and with his 2 children, and he is meeting back up with a few childhood friends who he also grew up with in said orphanage, because the elderly man who essentially ran the place and raised them to a degree, along with all of the different like workers there, is on his deathbed. And when these friends meet back up, that's when you start to realize that there is a residual spiritual nastiness in this place based on some of the just terrible wrongdoings that took place on this property. There are hallucinations, there are body mutilations, all kinds of crazy things like that. The acting is really good. I've not seen the original film, which is also available on Shudder, if I'm not mistaken, but there was an essence of predictability in this, especially when you start to realize the nature of the evil presence that has taken over this place, or at least is like re-emerging and rearing its ugly face once again. It's another one of those, we had a secret pact because of something terrible that we did, and that's kind of sort of without without like
Zachary
pointing.
says Indonesian.
Yeah, Indonesian. Okay, yeah. I knew it was from that area of the Eastern Asia, obviously. And sorry, I when we're doing all these films,
dare you?
I know, and I'm going off mental memory as opposed to like
As opposed to not mental memory.
Yeah, well, as opposed to Wikipedia, IMDb, just to double check all my facts and stuff like that. So it was
memory.
it was an effective film. There's a couple like it's very bug heavy. It's very bug heavy, and there is one where they go back to
Too much.
Well, there's one where they go back to investigate a school bus, and this character has all of these like beetles or like something. They come and they like go up in his eyes, and they're coming at his nose and his mouth, and they're like devouring him and stuff. Those bits with the bugs, I didn't really dig so much. The most effective, and anybody who has seen this remake that's currently on Shudder, I told Cecil off camera before about this. There's a scene where a particular character thinks that she is overweight, even though she's beautiful. And she looks in this mirror and decides to start carving bits of herself away, like most notably her neck. And she's looking in the mirror and she thinks everything is fine, and of course things are not fine in all actuality. And there is a reckoning for these youthful transgressions, and seemingly the kids are the ones who get closest to the core of the mystery without spoiling things too much. So it was a good movie, not a great movie. I mean, I watch everything new that hits on Shudder on that weekly basis, because I believe since the beginning of the year they've been putting out something new every Friday, and I watch them all. They're not all great, unfortunately. This was a little bit better, but it still didn't blow me away or wow me despite some strong performances. So
okay,
yeah. Anybody seen it? Please chime in.
Yeah, let us know what your thoughts are if you have seen it. Now that is going to lead us to the final movie we're going to discuss tonight, which is one that both of us have seen. That is called Bloody Hell, and this
not
one,
quite a horror movie from
no, definitely not. But I can see why it would be covered by a horror channel such as ours. There's definitely horror aspects to it for sure.
Oh yeah.
And this one, I actually had a great time with this. This is one that ended up being much more entertaining than I thought it was going to be.
Kind of Pulp Fiction-y.
A little bit, yeah. It's about a man who basically goes to a bank one day because he's got his eye on one of the tellers.
Yep.
And then there's a robbery that happens while he's there. And it turns out that he ends up being a super badass.
Well, he's former military.
Yeah, former military, right? And kills all of the robbers with their own weapons. And it's fucking rad. However, there is loss of life as a result of his actions. As cool as he is, there's loss of life. And so
collateral damage.
He goes to jail for a number of years, and then as soon as he gets out, he decides to take a trip to Finland. Mm-hmm. Because, that's
of all places.
He was throwing darts at a board, and Finland kept coming up. So he's like, okay, Finland. And it turns out that as soon as he gets to Finland, he's targeted by some crazies.
Even before,
yes.
Arriving at the airport.
Yep, when he's at the airport waiting to get on the plane, he's targeted by some crazies and ends up very rapidly in a not so good place. Missing something very important, we'll just say. Yes, he's not altogether whole when he comes to.
And we get a taste of this, these people who have taken him, we get a taste of them at the very beginning of the movie. It's another, just like so many other films we talked about tonight, where you get that little taste of something and then you kind of fast forward, rewind, whatever, if I'm going to say it properly.
Well, and he's a little crazy because he talks to himself. He sees another physical version of himself that he talks to throughout his situations, including this one. So, like, he's literally, he wakes up and he sees the situation he's in. He's about to start screaming, but his other self steps in front of him and is like, no! Shh, don't let them hear you scream.
It's almost like
and it's really fucking cool, man. It's really fucking cool dynamic.
Yeah, almost the opposite of Daniel Isn't Real, where as opposed to having like a tempter, other imaginary half, you have one that's almost like your voice of reason that's just like, no, what the fuck are you doing?
Don't fucking do this, man. Yeah,
exactly.
And then, but even that guy is surprised, where he's like, what the fuck is she doing? Do it, get her, like stuff like that. It's really, really funny.
I saw Ben talking right there. Ben, didn't you watch this at Chattanooga, just like I did? Please chime in, because I think we both watched this back in April of last year at the Chattanooga Film Festival, if I recall. So it was my first time seeing it.
Says, if Indonesia is making outstanding horror, what do you recommend? Satan's Slaves? Okay, sorry. Mr. Jordan is I'm sold. Zachary says Bloody Hell is funny, although he was tied up too long. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Zealot says Bloody Hell is almost as fun as Psycho Goreman to me. The movie would have completely failed if it weren't for the insane level of acting brought by the lead, though.
Oh, he's
blanking on his name. 100% right, Zealot. 100% right, yeah. Impedagore was good? Okay, I was wondering if Impedagore was worth watching.
That's another foreign one from Shudder. That, Blood Vessel, I still have a few
Blood
from
Vessel
2020
I started,
that I haven't.
But Robert said it wasn't great, so I skipped it.
Yeah.
All right, so thank you guys.
Yeah, that's what I thought, Ben. That's when we both watched it. So
always watch with the lady, right? See you soon. Take care, Antoine.
Hell yeah, man. Appreciate you coming in.
For sure, Chattanooga. Okay, cool. Yeah, guys, this was just a really funny movie. It had sort of the tone of your, like, Ready or Not. The chaotic sort of,
I can see
you don't know what's going to happen from scene to scene.
I like the romantic aspect of this, honestly.
I did too. It was silly, but it was cute.
It was cute.
Yeah. Silly but cute. Bloody Hell tonight, Antoine. I recommend it. Bloody Hell was a really good time. I rented it, and it was a 30-day rental. And it got all the way down to day 28 before I ever watched it. Because when I put it on, it was like, you have 36 hours left to watch this rental. I was like, oh, shit. And I am very, very, very glad that I did. Yeah. It almost deserves a full separate review.
Yeah, I mean, we had it listed there along with St. Maud and Anything for Jackson, which is another Shudder.
That one we are going to do a separate review of.
I just rewatched it with Catherine, and she was just like, wow, this is like nothing I've seen as far as horror goes. And she hasn't watched
Jackson, you mean?
Yeah.
No, we will be doing a separate review of Anything for Jackson. Not only that, but I just finished today 30 Coins, the 8-episode HBO series from HBO Europe, and fuck, that was good, especially if you're religious. Fuego's gonna love it. So when Fuego or Marcia finishes it, we will be reviewing 30 Coins on the channel. 30 monedas is what you might find it under, but it is very... Oh, I know the Spanish accent, man. Come on. So yeah, guys, Bloody Hell is very much, very, very worth your time, and it is one that I'm going to add to my Blu-ray collection when it is available.
Oh yeah, same. Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
So, that covers that's the 10 movies that we had planned to talk about, Fuego. We have 49 people watching those, so I always feel bad turning it off at this point.
I mean, if you have any questions,
y'all have any questions or anything like that?
Any sort of insight, asking us if there is something like if there
Ben
is
Grimm says loving 30 Coins, almost finished with it. Yeah.
Okay,
it's
if
really,
there is something
that
you have seen as far as more obscure horror that was released in the last 2 months since we started 2021, and thankfully got the hell away from 2020, please let us know here in this chat, and maybe we've seen it and just not talked about it.
Yeah, come hit us up in the chat, guys. We just finished all the reviews, the micro reviews of the movie.
I mean, I feel like I need to just look at my my Letterboxd real quick, because there was stuff like Lapsus that I watched that was not horror per se, but it was
Zealot
covered.
says Empedagor is my favorite Indonesian horror movie, all around well executed. Tara Basro is a world class scream queen. Okay, Jonah, you're convincing me. I might have to check out Empedagor then.
Okay.
Bloody Hell says Bobby D was the best movie I've seen so far this year. Bloody Hell.
Bloody D. Okay. Yeah.
Bobby D. Good. Bobby. I love when people comment that never comment, because I'm like, I don't know that name, but I love that they're commenting.
Yeah.
Guys, if you never comment, hit us up in the comments. We love seeing that. So Exiples says it would be awesome once the pandemic is over if the horror show could do a movie marathon in a private theater screen with patrons.
Ironically talked about that.
We have been talking about it.
Just 2 weeks ago.
And not only that, but we are trying to consider a way to do a mini marathon over the internet. So you guys, we can all do like a watch party or something like that, That would be really fun. We're trying to look into doing something like that. We have not continued watching Into the Dark, the Hulu series. Zachary.
There was the new one that they just put out last month, right?
I haven't watched a single Into the Dark in a year, I don't think. I haven't watched since the first Puka. I still haven't watched the second Puka movie, which I wanted to.
Well, they did take
I never watched the dog one with Judy Greer, which is supposed to be good.
They took a significant break, and then they returned, if I'm not mistaken, last month with that Tentacles, whatever it was. Or this month, I think it was, actually.
What are your Letterboxd names?
Mine
is your Letterboxd name?
Mine is letterboxd.com/Jaime and Fuego, just like everything else.
Mine is Horror Show Cecil. I thought ahead, apparently.
Yeah.
Yeah, Horror Show Cecil on Letterboxd. That's me, if you're curious. I need to actually start writing. All I do is click the stars at this point, and it's just... Frankly, I only use Letterboxd in order for me to put together my best of list at the end of the year, best of and worst of, because I'll be like, okay, there's these that had 4 stars, and there's these that had 2 stars. Those are the worst, these are the best. So that's what I use Letterboxd for. I don't really dive deep.
Yeah.
I have been wanting to watch Promising Young Woman. Didn't you watch that?
Oh, I reviewed it, yeah.
But not on our channel.
Yeah.
Isn't it a horror movie?
Not really.
You reviewed another fucking movie that's borderline horror
on
your non-horror god.
I reviewed that.
Guys, excuse me for just a minute. Go ahead and turn off the camera while I beat Fuego's ass.
Dude, I told you I reviewed that with Catherine. It's actually more of a dark comedy.
I know.
Way back on Christmas.
But horror channels are reviewing it and stuff. Yeah. I should get in on it at some point.
Yeah, it's good. I mean, it's not as great as a lot of
Josh
people have
Schultz
made it
just
out to
posted
be,
that he's in Amityville Hex. Sarah and he act in Amityville Hex.
Another Amityville.
People need to stop making Amityville movies. Just because the name is available doesn't mean you should make an Amityville movie.
Okay, so hold up.
I love the Schultzes, but come on.
Okay, Amanda, The Vigil's awesome. I'm legitimately.
I'm gonna watch it tonight.
I'm legitimately petitioning the rest of the channel to watch it. Now keep in mind, PG-13 horror. Okay, so this is not something. This is not something that's gonna like wow you with gore or anything like that. It's more so atmosphere.
Thank you, Crystal.
It's more so
much love.
Fantastic acting. Oh, is she getting out?
She's heading out. Yeah.
Crystal, thank you. Gracias.
Check your messages before Fuego leaves. I have a note in there for him too. Okay.
Oh, cool.
Can do. Go ahead. Continue with what you're saying.
Yeah, but The Vigil is it's definitely I pulled this double feature the other night where I watched The Night and I watched The Vigil. And The Night is actually the first film produced in America, as far as like horror and stuff like that, that is going to be allowed to show in Iran since the Iranian Revolution. And it's about this couple that has relocated to Los Angeles. They have a little dinner party with some friends, and the husband drinks too much, and so they stop off at a random hotel as they're trying to get back to their home in Los Angeles. Hotel is haunted, so to speak, but it's really more so a reckoning of personal secrets and guilt that both the husband and the wife, who have now at this point had a child together, are trying to just find some sort of, I guess, peace about. And they almost, there's so much more I could say, but I don't want to spoil it. And so for that reason, it's
Crystal making me cry over here.
Very terrific directorial debut. And then The Vigil, which was the other film, is about a young Jewish man who used to be a Hasidic Jew, and he has since presumably left the faith, and he's in this self-help group where he's trying to get past that. And he is asked by a former confidant and friend of his to go and sit. It's Shama or something. Please do not berate me for using the term improperly, but essentially in the Jewish faith, as the premise goes, when somebody passes away, before the body is taken off for burial and all of that different stuff, you need to have either a close friend, family member, or if none are available, a person like this guy to come and sit and read psalms and basically preside over the body to ward off any sort of negative evil spirits that could come and reanimate the body. And he sits and he does it, and he has his own personal demons and problems, and the sound design is terrific. It's very well acted. It's another slow burn, just very minimalistic bit of horror. But I had a really great time watching both of those the other night, because I'm always fascinated, whether it's Queen of Black Magic from Indonesia, as you guys clarified, or something like The Night or The Vigil, just seeing other countries and cultures and how they tackle horror, because it's always very different than the sort of, vanilla aspect that I often get here in the States. So,
you definitely have to read that message from Crystal. She just brought tears to my eyes. Oh. She's awesome. Okay, so, yes, I'm Horror Show Cecil on Letterboxd. Ben asked, have you guys watched the special? You did. Did we cover that in another wrap-up?
We didn't do a review.
We did a review wrap-up, right?
But I listed it as my number 6 in my top 6 of this past year.
That's what it was.
Damn, Ben Grimm, the end of that movie, when you realize, like, everything full circle as to what was going on with that glory hole, my God.
Another need a shower after
I thought
movie.
That movie, yeah, dude, the special, holy shit. That was a
Golden
movie
Eagle 777.
It's a gross movie.
Yeah, Golden Eagle 777. I really love your show. I could listen to you guys talk about movies all day. Thank you, Golden Eagle. Love when people chime in that don't normally chime in. We greatly appreciate you guys.
Damn reason.
Yeah, there's still a bunch more that we could talk about, you guys, but we've been trying to do more. Definitely, we've been doing more live stuff. I hope you guys have been enjoying that. It's been doing well for the channel, so I am looking forward to doing more live stuff. And again, keep in mind, there's a big channel overhaul that's going to be coming in May. We're going to be wrapping up, doing a bunch. We're catching up on all Patreon reviews, and then doing some comic reviews that Fuego and I are behind on. All of that will be wrapped up by the end of April, and then in May we're going to be launching the new version of the channel where we're going to have high-end content. It's going to take longer to make, so it's going to be longer in between episodes, but they're going to be great, and we're already working on episodes, including a massive, massive Best Monster episode, where Fuego, Robert, and I are going to sit down and talk about the best monsters in horror history.
In like
and we
every
have
subgenre of
33 different categories of monster that we're going to be discussing.
Even more than that, and we're trying to whittle it down to 33 at this particular point. Like when he mentioned the evil robot bit the other day.
That's part of the 33, but I thought of another one, animated monster.
No.
That wasn't on the list yet, so we might.
So that would not include CGI. That would be just like animated.
It could be whatever you want. I mean, it's cheating that way, but I think animated is the way to go.
Because I mean, I would talk about the end of like Akira.
That's what I'm talking about. It's a worthwhile. You know what I mean? Animated monster, worth talking about. So we'll probably add to it, but yeah, there's that coming. I am going to be doing the best horror movie from every year that I've been alive. That is a 40 movie deep thing because I've been alive for that long. So we're working on all of these things behind the scenes now, so they're ready to present when the channel relaunches in May. So we are currently working on stuff that you guys aren't going to see until May or later, but they're going to be all the better for it. So I just want you guys to know that we are working and we are going to make this channel.
Oh, Ben is so funny.
Better.
Ben is so funny because remember where I actually made a
Monster Madness, March Madness. That's a good idea.
Well, no, remember I made a bracket for that.
You did. We never did,
and we never did it because the pandemic had just started.
That's right.
I think
Fuego made a legit bracket.
I made a 64 movie bracket of craziness. I think we have to do it. Tomorrow is March 1st. I'm gonna,
revisit it, man.
Yeah, we have to.
You work it out, and we'll do it.
Now work it out.
Zealot, you're one of the few horror channels that regularly do live stuff. I absolutely love it. Yeah, I appreciate that. Best monster of all time is Zot. I don't know what Zot is. What is Zot? What monster is Zot from?
Kneel before Zot!
Yeah, I don't think that's it.
I know it's not.
I know, but I love it. I love it. Snoochie Boochies. I turned 24 on May 31st. I'm looking forward to everything lead up to my birthday.
I'm envious.
You're gonna have a lot of cool shit in May, man. DMT, we got a lot. We already have about 8 episodes ready for the relaunch. Those are episodes that are high quality, that are ready to go, that are going to be launched, and then we only want to make high quality episodes going forward from that point. There will still be some Patreon reviews that go straight to Patreon that are going to be our more video podcast format still. But that'll just be for those Patreon reviews. Everything we present on the channel is going to be, as high-end as we can possibly make it. We don't want to skimp on the Patreon reviews. We want people to still be able to request, so those may be sort of the old-school variety, but those will go straight to Patreon, and everything on the channel proper is going to be big. So, from the movie Zot. Zot's from the movie Zot. I don't know Zot. Now I feel like I need to look up Zot, unless I'm being trolled.
I think we need to. But Michael M's a longtime supporter, so I'm not sure if he's...
Michael M's dope. Zealot is dope. Zealot's new. DMT Infinity is dope. All of you guys are fucking dope. Amen. Love all of you guys. So, thank you guys so much for watching. We're going to go ahead and wrap it up here. Fuego has actually been here for about 6 hours at this point, because we did about 6 reviews before we did this actual thing, including some trailer reactions. Stranger Things comics, a few different Patreon requests, all that stuff. So, any news on the next Never Hike series? I want to make a reaction video for all the new ones that come out too. I know that Vin is planning to do Never Hike starting in the new year. He is working on other stuff.
As in this year or next year?
No, in 2022.
Yeah.
He'll be getting back to it starting in the new year, from what I saw from a recent update. I am more focused on Dylan's New Nightmare because things are progressing very well as far as Dylan's New Nightmare goes, and it's going to be fucking rad for you guys. So I'm excited for everyone to do it. So thank you guys very much for watching. We greatly appreciate it. There is a link down to the Patreon in the description box down below. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to click the like. If you didn't like it, go ahead and click the dislike. We appreciate the interaction one way or another.
Zachary.
Drive safe, Cecil fucking Zachary, man. God damn it. He keeps it going. I love it, though. Yes, for those of you that don't know, after the news with Booze, that we did remotely. So
On
Fuego
Wednesday,
was
man.
at home. I literally ended the stream by telling Fuego to drive safe, even though he was already at home. So yes, it worked great.
And I actually wasn't safe that night, so there you go.
So Scarlet Shadow, we do love you guys. We love you guys too. Looking forward to it. Sounds awesome. Thank you. DMT's excited about Dylan's New Nightmare. Hope I can be on one of your podcasts. Would love talking about movies with you guys. David, reach out. Maybe we can work something out in the near future here, man. So we'll see. But thank you guys so much for watching. Until next time, I've been Cecil Laird.
Gracias, Jaime. Fuego!
And remember, stay scared. Love you guys. Bow, bow.